Hello everyone, I'm Aaron, and today we're going to be talking about some more model kits, and specifically one that's very near and dear to my heart. I don't know if you're able to tell, but I kind of like Evangelion quite a lot, specifically EVA Unit 01. And this kit is very special to me. The EVA Unit 01 is what got me back into model kit building and got me wanting to build more Gunpla and getting me into the hobby in general full force. It came out in around 2020, and I remember pre-ordering it, and that, 2020 coincides with the COVID era of just getting way into specific hobbies and hyper focuses, and I didn't really know much about the broader scope of other than buy box, build robot, and wasn't really part of the community or just knowing a lot of techniques or any of the tools used. Like I was using like wire cutters to make this kit, and I was still painting them as if they were Warhammer figures back then. But I have a lot of really warm feelings about this EVA unit kit. It was the first model kit I built when I got back into the hobby as an adult, and it's really special to me. And this one, as much as it pains me, I have to retire this kit because it went into storage, and then when it came out of storage, it just wasn't the same. It's missing its horn, it's missing like the back of the hand, or the front of the hand, excuse me. And it's just missing some little bits and pieces there, and I didn't drop it or anything, but it just went into storage and just came out missing parts, and I just never was able to find them again. And it really bothers me as just a piece in my collection, and I kind of was thinking about ways to maybe fix it up but the EVA parts are so unique, like its horn and the hands and the weird humanoid shape. Like I have a whole box full of like spare Gunpla parts, and I can't really fix the EVA Unit 01 without not making it EVA Unit 01 or anything like that. So it gave me quite a predicament. So for a while I've been looking to replace this kit. I was able to get my hands on another real grade EVA Unit 01. So I'm really excited to rebuild this kit. Pun intended, rebuild of Evangelion. However, I've been getting way into the Blokees line recently and rediscovering just how many cool things that Blokees have. Like I just got a Hatsune Miku, and I might build that on a live stream. There's Marvel stuff, Deadpool, Wolverine. They're doing Marvel Rivals. There's a Venom kit, Spider-Man. Blokees is just doing so much with model kits, and it's just like I'm really engaged in how wide they're going and the quality of the builds that you're getting from them. There's no polycaps. So when I saw that Blokees has their own Evangelion kit, I absolutely had to get that as well. So it was an idea of replacing the EVA Unit 01, and we're going to build both these kits, and I'm going to have two fresh kits side by side. I do have a secret plan here, and it's mostly going to be to see if I can restore this person. I'm sure there's going to be some spare hands and spare parts and a spare horn, because this kit is painted and it's fully decaled up and stickered, and I do not want to do that again. I hate applying stickers so much, and I'm probably not going to do that to Real Grade 02, or excuse me, Real Grade 01 number 2. That's confusing, but I'm really interested to build the Blokees kit, to rebuild this Evangelion kit, to do another real grade kit, and see what I can get away with. Maybe I can salvage these parts or turn this into something else or make a custom out of it. But there's a lot of options, and I'm excited to build that kit again. So let's go on ahead, and we're going to get to building. All right, and we got everything built. So we have here on our left the brand new real grade down the center. We have the older real grade from about 5 years ago, and on the right we have our challenger, the Blokees kit. So the first thing I want to do is just kind of take a little size comparison. We have the kits here side by side. As you can tell, the real grade's just a little bit taller, looks to be a little longer in the torso, but proportion wise, in terms of like the head and the arms, they're shockingly similar. Like I kind of did a side by side. The hands and the feet on the Blokees kit are just like a little bit bigger, but it's generally in the same wheelhouse. I was actually very shocked with how similarly sized they were. I genuinely thought the Blokees kit was going to be like way taller, and it ended up being about the same size as the real grade. We have a high grade here in comparison, so we'll just have G-Fred take a little stand up here for 2 seconds just to kind of show. But G-Fred, you look the same, but you don't, similar, but you don't belong, so you get to watch from the back. And so we're going to go on ahead and first things first, this thing cost me $65, so it's like a lot less than I paid for this one in the middle, but I did buy this one off a secondhand seller. I actually got this one from my shop directly, and then the Blokees kit came in at $39.99, which I just got off of Amazon. So I'm definitely going to be weighing price into the factor of who wins this little bout, but we are going to talk about a lot of the details. I think the most obvious detail is going to be the colors. So you have these really striking colors on the Blokees kit. It's got this real just metallic, shiny, deep purple, and it's got the really bright neon, as in the title of the show, neon for the green accents. And I didn't like it at first, but the more I looked at it, and it just started to grow on me a little bit, and genuinely like really impressed with this figure. It's a hefty figure. It's really solid. It has a lot of details in it, and shockingly color accurate. And one thing that actually really impressed me was like some of these pieces are just painted on, and that's just an ongoing thing with Blokees kit. Like this kind of looked a little messy to me, though. It's like indecipherable text, and there's some details like this is painted. The neck pieces are painted, the little eyes are painted, but as with a lot of Blokees kits, one of the issues I have is that like they use these metallic colors on the runner, and so when you nip them off, you kind of see the little bruises sometimes on them, and it's not super bad on this. It's not as bad as the Action Edition Megatron that I just built, but one thing that really bothers me, but you don't really see, is you can see the bruises like right on the chest plate underneath it. So if you go ahead and get in and look on that a little bit, like you can just definitely see where it came off the runner. However, like standing up and standing tall, it's definitely hard to see it. It's one of those things that only I'm going to really know it, and even in most poses, you're not really going to pay attention to that part of the figure. And here you have the real grade. And so this is my second time building this, so I actually got to do a couple things right that I did wrong the first time. I definitely broke the little hatch where the plug goes in, and definitely hit it with a couple of pieces of sticky tack and some glue in some certain areas that I knew were problematic from my last build. So this is going to be a generally superior figure. I also opted to not put stickers on it because I think the stickers on the real grade are really ugly, and I'll take a look at my first real grade where I put the stickers on it, and the stickers kind of like blob up and they cover the details and they go over some panels and seams, and generally like just don't make it look good in my opinion. And I really regret putting the stickers on this one, but this was the first one I built, so this one, you know what, it's going to retire, because one thing that I really hated about this kit is that it's like hips wobble. The hips move on this, like, you can kind of see it, this like weird, like this spins in here inside the hips, so it always causes him to kind of lean over sometimes. So he actually spent his time on my shelf like kind of sitting on the edge or in a kneeling position, but we're going to go ahead and retire him. When I built him, I put a little line of sticky tack around the joints in the hips, so that way it can be able to move and still have the articulation without gluing it down, but then be a little more solid. So if you can just look at the way that I shake it a little bit, it's definitely like he can, I was just about to compliment it for standing up, but that's what I get for speaking too soon. But he stands a lot better than, or excuse me, she, spoilers for the show, stands a lot better than the original one I built, and we're going to go on ahead and start our head-to-head here. So the real grade's definitely going to take it in details. However, the Blokees kit is no slouch on the details. For example, like it also has a cockpit that opens up. Let me see if I could get open with one hand here. It's hard to get it open, but this slides open, trust me, bro, to reveal the plug, and the plug is also color blocked, but it's painted on, but it's a little more color accurate than the all white plug that's in the real grade. The real grade also has an opening hatch for the cockpit. There's a lot more panels and lines and a lot of different things on this, but we're just going to kind of like, I'm going to take a look at just some of the more defining features that make the Evangelion unit. So I think the first one we're going to look at is definitely just like the mouth. Because when you think of the Evangelion, you think of the creepy, very humanoid mouth. So I need my camera to zoom in here, but taking a quick look at the mouth, you can kind of see that it opens up and it's got that kind of horrific body horror red in there. The jaw was really loose on the previous real grade, so this one definitely has some blue tacked on it to hold it in there, so I'll be able to get a little more posability. And like, no matter how many times I close the old one's mouth, it kind of just would just slack its jaw every now and then. And one thing I love about this figure is that the joints are solid, and it also has the existential horror mouth. And I gotta say, I think I like the mouth a little better on this one. Like, the teeth are a little longer. I don't know if it's easy to see, but the teeth are a little longer on this figure, and it's like a deeper, darker, kind of bloody red, and it's a little way more scary when this thing opens its mouth than kind of like the bright red on the real grade. And the shoulders don't have as much detail as the real grade, but one thing that is disappointing is that the knife right here, like, these don't fold up. This is just painted on, so this is one solid piece with paint on it, and if you want the knife coming out of it, it's a separate piece that you would have to replace, and that's the piece right there. So like, it would have to be in that pose on your shelf forever and ever, which is fine. It's a part that you can change it out. It's not forever and ever, obviously, if you get tired of it. But one thing that's cool about the real grade is that it has little details like this. Like, this is so hard to do with one hand, but you can go on ahead, you can flip it open, the knife is in there, so you can make the pose with that. And obviously you're gonna get the higher level of detail on the real grade. The chest, this is all color blocked, it's painted on the Blokees kit. You have a lot of the more details, like the shoulders are these like weird flappy things, as opposed to like just being painted onto the shoulder itself. So that's a liberty they definitely took with envisioning it to be more real. The plug is a little more brighter of a red, as it's like a darker of a red to go to the umbilical port on it. But one thing that's interesting is that these little parts that are silver on the real grade, they are interpreted as more purple, a lighter purple on the Blokees kit. So, and as we can see, the spine is more of a purple, and a lot of the details like that share color with it, such as the knuckles and the mouth, and a lot of those details are interpreted as silver on the real grade, or a more metallic looking silver, whereas they're more, I would say, anime accurate. Now, the one area that the Blokees kit has it beat by a wide margin is definitely the accessories. So we have the landing base back here. It came with a really cool stand, and it's one of those grippy stands too, so you can kind of grip it by the waist. And the cool thing is that, like, obviously they're very, very similar in size, so I can grip this. I'm always happy to have more stands. They both come with the umbilical cord. So here's the real grade umbilical cord, and then we'll kind of have that very we'll have a side by side with the Blokees kit umbilical cord, which is a lot larger. We are going to take a point away from the Blokees kit, because the Blokees kit needed to get hit with some glue, because the umbilical cord, like this fit piece was really tight, and it was ripping out the little red dot on the back, the little red area where the plug goes in. So I had to glue that down, because every time I put the umbilical cord in there, the umbilical cord would come back out with that piece removed. So it wasn't really locked in. They could have loosened that peg a little bit. But it came with the landing base, it came with the guns. So we have the real grade gun here. The real grade gun's a little bigger than the Blokees gun. Not that the size matters, lol. But we have a little side-by-side of the two guns there. We also have a side-by-side of the knives. So the real grade comes technically with 4 knives. It has the 2 knives that are folded that are stashed in there. And then it has 2 knives that are not folded, whereas the Blokees kit has the knife. The knife is actually colored blocked, but still not 100% accurate, or else this would be a cool metallic. But it does have the one folded knife that's molded into this piece. And the Blokees kit comes with the with the Gatling gun, and this thing is cool, and it spins too, so that's a pretty cool detail. And this is like really neat. With the Blokees kit, you're getting one less knife, you're getting a little smaller gun, you're getting a bigger umbilical cord, but you're getting an entire base, and you're getting the little arm to hold him in there, so it can chill in there. You can put it in some action poses. You can take the base out. I'm always happy to get a stand, and I gotta say, I'm really, really impressed with what we got in the Blokees kit. So the Blokees kit gave us the entire EVA 1, all the accessories, and it's a solid figure too. Like, it doesn't shake, it doesn't wobble, there's no polycaps or anything like this. I'm not worried about this falling over. I literally had to edit out some footage of this thing, like, in its refusal to actually stand back up, because sometimes I pick it up and it just doesn't want to. Granted, the surface it's standing on isn't the best right now, and I literally couldn't get this jerk to stand back up, so he's just sitting down now. So you're out the picture, you're retired old kit, and I did say I was going to choose a winner. And I'm just going to kind of go over some points, because I actually am having a hard time selecting the winner. But in terms of value, this cost me $64.99. This is the standard kit, so there is a DX kit that also comes with like AT fields. It also comes with its own loading base and its real grade loading base, some extra hands so that it's kind of like tearing at the AT field, and I didn't get it. This is the standard one. I didn't get the DX kit. I ended up getting the standard one, $64.99. Then for the Blokees kit, you get for $39.99, you get like everything, and it's honestly competing with the DX kit more than it is competing with the standard kit. So in terms of details, obviously the real grade takes it by a wide margin. The real grade does a lot of cool things. It has a lot of the sliding parts. It has the inner frame that you built up, and it's a really unique inner frame with the very, human muscular kind of tone. They come with extra hands. They both come with like the chopping hands for the running pose and the sprinting poses that EVO Unit 01 is very famous for. The real grade has a lot of really cool details. There's some like really cool unique parts in here too. So like the upper shoulder here, that was a pre-molded part, and it's on one of those crazy sprues that injected it with the color blocking in it, so no stickers. The same goes for the horn, and then I was able to use the spare horn with the sticker to fix this jerk over here who can't even stand up. And then the eyes are on that too, so the eyes are actually color accurate to be able to get on that crazy sprue. So it's one piece, but it looks like two because it has the two colors injected in there. And the Blokees kit handles the eyes by just painting them, but they are more yellow. The ones on the real grade are a little more white. And overall, we're just going to do some beauty shots of it here, but yeah, so this is what you get for $64.99 real grade, and that's the standard kit. And then this is just the Blokees Action Edition, and I'm really happy with what I got from the Blokees kit. From a standpoint, like if you care about the model kits and you care about the details and the intricate details, and knowing and wanting to have a longer good time and something that's more detailed, then the real grade's going to take it by a wide margin. But if you're like me and you just want to build an EVA Unit 01 and you just want a figure on your desk that looks really good, I'm going to give the overall W to the Blokees kit. The Blokees kit doesn't have the details that the real grade does. The paint is a little lacking in some areas, like the couple areas on the neck where the paint looks really thin. You can kind of see it right here. The paint looks really thin. There's a couple of the bruises from the nub marks from taking it off the runner. I did use nippers for this, so I tried to minimize those nub marks. The etchings on the arm just look like nonsense, whereas like it's a sticker on the real grade, but the stickers on the real grade are not great at all. But it's way more solid of a figure. Like this thing, I'm not worried about this falling, right? And that's probably how this one over here broke its horn to begin with, because it fell off the desk, and I probably should just use a stand on it. But overall W is going to go to Blokees, just because value goes a long way with me. For $39.99, you're getting this incredibly gorgeous kit. Has all these cool accessories. It has everything that you would want out of an Evangelion 01 kit. And it comes with the base, it comes with the umbilical cord, it comes with the whole play set. It could have came with more knives, but like I feel like asking for more for that price point of $39.99 is just selfish. Like, it's like it could have had an AT field that was just like a little plastic piece that's translucent. It could have, but they already did so much for the price point. Like, Blokees is really aggressively pricing their kits, and I will say this with confidence, that ain't gonna last long. You're getting too much quality for too good of a price, and we'll see. Hopefully they can remain at that price point, and I'm just really impressed. If you are a big fan of Evangelion, and I've stressed this before, I kind of sort of like Evangelion a little bit, but if you're a big fan of Evangelion and you want just a solid kit or a solid toy to sit on your shelf and represent your love for Eva, then here we go. If you're more like me and you like the details and you like the model kits and you also like Evangelion and you want the more details, then I'm going to say go for the real grade. And, you can probably, I would probably, look into 3D printing some of these. He's struggling to stand right now, but it's mostly the surface's fault, so I won't fault it for that. But it's a great figure. They're both great figures. You can't go wrong with either or, but you just get way more with the Blokees kit. That $39.99 goes so long. Stand up, you jerk. Or not. Okay. You know what? You're done for the day. And I'm done for the day as well. So I will say, though, I did like the Blokees kit quite a bit. I liked it enough that I went ahead and got another one. So I'm going to be building this at some point. And one thing, and this is a big bonus to Blokees, but also $39.99. And finding the real grade of Eva Unit 01 has been difficult. And I was never able to find it, and that was one thing that always bugged me, because I always wanted to build Eva Unit 01. Eva Unit 02, I misspoke. I am a sinner now, and my Eva Street creds just went out the window, but that's fine. Getting Eva Unit 02 was actually a big surprise for me, so I'm going to have some cohesion. I'm going to have a friend for the Blokees kit, and I'm really excited to build that next kit. I'm really excited with the quality that we're getting from Blokees, and I've found myself recently buying more Blokees kits than Bandai kits most recently, but it's mostly just because the line is new and exciting. They have Transformers, they have Hatsune Miku. I do not work for Blokees, I promise you, but I will take their money the first option they give me. The first opportunity I get, I'm selling all the way out, but not there yet, so a lot of my love for the brand is genuine, and I'm just really excited. I have Wolverine and Deadpool in the mail, and I'll probably do something on that, but it's been great. Thanks for having me, and if you made it this far, you can go ahead, you can like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things that the algorithm likes, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.